Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. I'm the channel owner here, Wood. Hey man, some people gotta holler at me, man, about Dwayne Haskins Jr. And some Redskins fans, some of my fellow Redskins fans, really need to check themselves. You really need to check yourself, man. Now, 4 games in the NFL is a huge number. I understand that with this point that I'm getting ready to make, but everything that's in place in Dallas for the Cowboys, everything that's in place for them, the right pieces at all the right places. They got a good corner in the kid from UConn, Williams. The Michigan kid is coming along out there. You have 2 linebackers in Jalen Smith and Vander Esch. You got DeMarcus Lawrence over there. You spent money on him. You got an all-pro laden, offensive line. You got a third-year starter who's young, in quarterback, decent mobility. You have the league's a top 2, a top 3, a number 1 running back. You have a difference-making, experienced wide receiver in Amari Cooper. You got Randall. It's what do they call it? An embarrassment of riches. And yet, you only have 4 more wins. That's how difficult it is to win in the NFL. Perfect example of how difficult it is, and the thin line that it is from being a struggling team to a contender. Like you can't ignore that. And who opened the season the way that the Redskins did with the schedule that they had the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season? Dallas is just getting into those types of matchups. The other thing, to sit here and say that Dwayne had what he is and what he isn't, what the hell is Carson Wentz? Like, what young quarterback is being consistent right now? Trubisky's on his way out the door. Derek Carr got pulled yesterday. Carson Wentz is a former MVP candidate, leading MVP candidate, and is a preseason MVP guy. Josh Allen, who's doing pretty good right now. But to sit up here and say, somebody in a forum the other day said, I've never seen a team win despite their quarterback. Well, then you don't watch NFL football. Then you haven't watched football. How the hell do you think the Broncos won their last Super Bowl? They won with a comfortable piece back there, who didn't exactly throw the game away per se. In their postseason run, what did Peyton do that year? He made he made probably no more than 10 key passes or difference-making passes in that whole run. Obviously, my man, Dilfer, who was there for the Ravens. All I remember is he threw that pass to he threw the long touchdown pass to Shannon Sharp. A team winning despite its quarterback. Football is a team game, and young quarterbacks very rarely, it's just not that often that a young quarterback is going to single-handedly lead a team, to being victorious. So, like I said, man, the internet is just and social media and whatnot, man. You try to go on there and keep up with your teams and keep up with some news and team-specific news, and then you got to encounter all the freaking idiots who are just miserable, impatient, intolerable, insatiable, ignorant, and just not enjoyable to be around. I mean, my goodness. Do you make a whole lot out of this win? No, you don't. It is the Detroit Lions, but weren't the Detroit Lions like a 3-0 team? But again, I can't think of who I saw the quote from the other day. It was a significant winner, whether it was a former player or a coach, but the individual said a lot more games in the NFL are lost than they are won. And that's what's the formula to get into the postseason? Win home games, win all your home games, beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, go 500 on the road, and I mean, that's the three major ones. You can probably throw in one more, and they're like, you gotta beat sub 500 teams, which is beat the teams you're supposed to beat, you know. So, and then and lastly, you know, I keep saying this, you don't even know, coaching staff wise, you don't even know if any of those guys that are over there, like, what are they really there for at this point? Are they setting up interviews for their next stops? Are they selling their homes? Like, to win the game, to me, is damn near remarkable, looking at all of the circumstances. Probably the only people that care is those guys on the field and those guys yesterday who got an opportunity to play for the first time, you know, with Norman being sat down. But at some point in time, even just getting that game check after the game isn't really, that really isn't, you know, making it worth it. Like, you don't want to be a loser. So for the team to go out there and fight the way that they did, I got to tip my cap to the guys, man. And I don't know if it has any bearing on next year, or, you know, definitely not sitting here saying that the team can finish up 7-9 or anything. But you got to take what you can take, man. And like I said, week to week, just see some slight improvement. So what would you have said if Haskins went 0-3? What would you say if he's been averaging 2 and 3 interceptions a game, or, you know, leading the league in fumbles, and, you know, and whatnot? So anyway, man, pay me no mind. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.